Imagine this. You are lured onto an unknown island by an unknown person, and one by one, the people around you begin to get murdered by an unknown murderer. Well, if you want to solve the most puzzling murder mystery of all time, then you should definitely read And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie. In this novel, it starts by 10 people getting invited to a mansion on an island just off the coast of the mainland. Each person had been lured onto the island for a different reason, some thinking they were meeting friends, some think they were investigating for trouble, and others thinking they were getting a new job. The 10 people who were invited to the island each fell for the bait. The first night at the island, a recorded message is played, and in this recorded message accused each person of committing a murder. The guests on the island compared why they were invited to the island, and they realized that each of the people who were on the island did not know who actually invited them to the island. Then that one night, the first person dies as he chokes on his drink, and then one by one, each person on this island begin to get murdered by an unknown murderer. Who's going to be murdered next? How will they be killed? Will anyone survive? Who is this unknown murderer? If you want to figure this out, then you should definitely read And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie. Anyone who loves mysteries, especially murder mysteries, and are looking for a good read, should definitely read this book. When reading this, I felt as if I were a part of the book, and I felt the fear and shock the characters felt throughout the book. This book was so descriptive that I could vividly imagine every part of this book, and it felt as if I was watching a movie. As throughout this book, as I was reading, I had this uneasy feeling in me as if I were not alone, as much of the characters in this novel felt. Agatha Christie creates many plot twists throughout this novel that I would have never guessed. And by the end of the novel, the end of this book was so insane that I could never predict this in a million years. So if you want to figure out how this book ends, and if you want to feel the emotions I felt when reading this book, then you should definitely read And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie. And the whole premise of this book is supported by one poem, which is basically a nursery rhyme. The poem goes by this. 10 little soldier boys went out to dine. One choked his little self, and then there were 9. 9 little soldier boys sat up very late. One overslept himself, and then there were 8. 8 little soldier boys traveling in Devon. One said he'd stay there, and then there were 7. 7 little soldier boys chopping up sticks. One chopped himself in halves, and then there were 6. 6 little soldier boys playing with a hive. A bumblebee stung one, and then there were 5. 5 little soldier boys going in for law. One got into chancery, and then there were 4. 4 little soldier boys going out to sea. A red herring swallowed one, and then there were 3. 3 little soldier boys walking in the zoo. A big bear hugged one, and then there were 2. 2 little soldier boys sitting in the sun. One got frizzled up, and then there was 1. 1 little soldier boy left all alone. He went and hanged himself, and then there were none. The murderer in this novel kills off the people following this creepy nursery rhyme, which displays the insanity and cleverness of this murderer. When reading this book, And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie, was one of my favorite books that I've ever read, and I recommend this book to all of you, 10 out of 10.